Okay, today, for any men serious about love, we'll discuss some common flirting mistakes to avoid with a woman you actually care about. These cringe-worthy faux pas can turn a promising flirtation into an epic fail. If you're new to my channel, my name is Anna Jorgensen. I help men like you decode modern women so you can find, attract, and keep your keeper, or simply have better relationships with women. Welcome to Just the Tip. Okay, so by the way, women can also make some of these mistakes, and I note some of the differences in the mistakes men and women make when we go through the video. Let's jump in. 1. Over texting sans substance. Sending endless text to keep a conversation going comes across as needy or boring. Now, yes, we all have needs, but when you constantly text without offering anything meaningful, it can seem like you're more focused on filling the silence than engaging in a genuine conversation. Women who are serious about developing a relationship are often looking for quality over quantity and appreciate conversations with depth rather than just receiving a barrage of what you do in texts. Example, we'll use Alex and Emma as our fictional couple. So Alex texts Emma every day with messages like, hey, what's up? And how's your day? Without ever moving into real conversations. That's the key. Soon, Emma starts responding with single-word answers, clearly more interested in avoiding texts than engaging in them. So Alex's relentless generic texts make him come across as eager and dull, turning their exchanges into a series of monotonous check-ins. However, if Alex notices Emma's post about her love for hiking, instead of being a generic text, he could ask, what's your favorite trail and why? This shows his genuine interest in her passions. 2. Not paying attention to replies. Now, on the other hand, if you talk about yourself so much that you miss what she's saying, it's like having a conversation with a mirror, talking but no connection. It seems like you're prioritizing your own stories over engaging with her and her thoughts and feelings. Now, this kind of one-sided approach can make her feel like she's merely a passive audience rather than an active participant in the conversation. It can be tempting to fill the silence or try to impress her by focusing on yourself, but that doesn't give her the chance to share her own experiences or her interests, which is crucial for building a genuine connection. Example, Emma shares a story about her recent photography project. And let's say Alex somehow uses it to shift the focus back to his work achievements without acknowledging her passion. Now, even if he wants to impress her, his behavior makes her feel undervalued, underappreciated, and irrelevant, just like it would in the reverse. So make sure to appreciate her qualities and achievements as well. When Emma shares her latest photography project, Alex could say, what inspired you in this project? I'd love to see some of your favorite shots. This approach will make her feel heard, valued, and understood. Next up, 3, excessive compliments. Constant flattery can come off as insincere or like you're trying too hard to win her over. When every compliment you give is over the top or overly frequent, it starts to sound less like a genuine appreciation and more like a rehearsed line from a script. This barrage of praise can make it seem like you're more focused on impressing her than actually getting to know the real her. Real connections are built on honest, substantive interactions, not just a series of "you're amazing" declarations. Example, if Alex constantly tells Emma how she's the most amazing person he's ever met or known, and how everything she does is perfect, it can come across as less about seeing the real her and more about trying to earn her affection through relentless praise, which feels like a tactic. Instead of constantly telling Emma she's amazing, he could say something like, you know what, I really admire your passion. And it's inspiring to see someone so dedicated to their art. Now, the mistake women make with compliments is being stingy in giving them to the men in their lives. Some of the reasons for this are because women instinctively feel they'll lose their power or be taken advantage of or be misconstrued as being more interested or easy than they are. Bragging about achievements. On the flip side of the coin, if you're only focusing on how awesome you are, it can come across as self-centered and off-putting. It's understandable you want to let her know about your value and achievements, but this approach can make you seem like you're more interested in showcasing your greatness rather than in building a meaningful connection. A woman wants to connect, not sit through your all about me show. Example. Wanting Emma to realize how committed he can be, Alex constantly brings up his high scores in video games and his work achievements. But Emma feels like she's on a date with a trophy case instead of a natural person. Every conversation seems like a monologue about Alex's latest accomplishments. Instead of getting to know each other on a deeper level, their interactions make her feel sidelined by the endless parade of his accolades. When talking about your achievements, share them in a way that invites her into the conversation rather than making it all about you. So, for example, Alex could mention his high scores in video games, but add, you know what, I love gaming because it helps me relax. Do you have any hobbies that help you unwind? Next up, bringing up exes. Mentioning exes can make it seem like you're hung up on the past. It's like trying to introduce a new book while still reading the last chapter of an old one. Constantly referencing past relationships can give the impression that you're not fully invested in the present or willing to move forward. Your new lady love may feel like a placeholder while you're still mentally flipping through the pages of your previous story. Example. Alex casually mentions his ex during conversations, which makes Emma think he isn't entirely over her. Every time he brings up a story involving his ex, Emma feels like she's competing with a ghost from his past. Instead of focusing on building new memories together, Alex's constant references to his ex, even the negative ones, are like unwanted reruns of a show Emma has no interest in. This makes her question if Alex actually is genuinely ready to move on, or if he's just using her to rebound and fill the void of his previous relationship. Now, Alex can avoid mentioning his ex and instead ask Emma about her favorite memories from recent adventures, keeping the focus on new experiences. And if Alex feels the need to share what he learned from a past relationship about his own needs for a new one, he can say, I've learned what I need in a relationship. What about you? Try to keep the conversation focused on your current connection rather than bringing up exes. After all, how would you feel if the situation was reversed? Next up, not respecting boundaries. So not respecting a woman's boundaries when flirting can make her uncomfortable and undermine trust. Respecting boundaries shows care, builds confidence, and lays the foundation of a healthy relationship. When you disregard her comfort zone or push her limits, it can turn what should be a mutual relationship into a one-sided pursuit. Example. Alex pushes Emma to meet up even when she says she's busy. He doesn't pick up on her hints that she needs a bit of space, and she feels like she's dealing with a bulldozer. Alex's inability to respect her boundaries makes her feel pressured, ultimately driving a wedge between them. When Emma says she's busy, Alex can reply, "No worries, let's catch up when you're free." This shows he respects her time and space and himself. Of course, if Emma is always busy, she may not be ready, willing, or able to be in a healthy relationship, or she simply may not be that interested in Alex. Next up, hot and cold behavior. So being spontaneous and unpredictable can be thrilling at first, but it quickly becomes exhausting and unsettling. If your behavior swings between a love bombing and totally aloof, she'll never know where she stands, which can lead to feelings of insecurity and frustration, just like it would for you. Now, while it is true that women do tend to be more attracted to men whose feelings about them are uncertain, emotionally healthy women do have limits. Example. One day, Alex is super attentive, and the next, he's distant and unresponsive. Emma feels like she's on an emotional seesaw, unsure whether to get off or hang on. The inconsistency leaves Emma feeling insecure and anxious, not knowing what to expect from one day to the next. She questioned Alex's true intentions and whether he's genuinely interested in or capable of a stable relationship. Now, people with anxious, avoidant, or fearful attachment styles can often swing between hot and cold to maintain their equilibrium in a relationship. If this is you, you'll want to watch my video on attachment styles, which will be linked at the end of this one. Next up, focusing too much on looks. Now, if you're only complimenting her appearance, it can make her feel like you're more interested in her looks or her body than who she is as a person. Because men desire but don't get nearly the same number of appearance-based compliments, or compliments in general, from women, they often assume women primarily want appearance-based compliments as well. However, this kind of focus can come across as shallow, as if you only see the cover of her book while ignoring the story inside. Genuine connections are built on more than just physical attraction. They require recognizing and appreciating someone's personality, interests, and values. Example: Alex constantly comments on Emma's looks, from her outfit to her hairstyle. Now, while it was flattering at first, Emma starts feeling like Alex only wants her for her body. His seeming lack of interest in her thoughts, feelings, and passions make her think she's undervalued and overly objectified, as if her worth is only tied to her appearance. His focus on her looks overshadows the deeper connection she craves, leaving her feeling like an accessory. Instead of focusing solely on Emma's appearance, Alex can compliment her creativity and dedication to her hobbies. Now, note to the ladies: men don't receive near enough compliments from us. AJRX, nag less, compliment more. Praise and appreciation are inspiring to men. Next up, using grand impersonal gestures. Lavish gifts and over-the-top dates might seem impressive, but they can't replace genuine connection. Extravagant gestures can come off as attempts to buy affection rather than create it through intimacy, creating a superficial relationship lacking depth and authenticity. Example: Alex tries to impress Emma with expensive gifts and fancy dinners, thinking it'll win her over. Now, while Emma appreciates the gestures initially, she soon feels overwhelmed by the constant show of impersonal extravagance. It seems like Alex is compensating for a lack of real connection with material things rather than taking the time to get to know her on a deeper level. This makes Emma feel like she's part of a transaction where flashy displays of affection replace genuine emotions and meaningful conversations. Instead, if Alex notices Emma likes a particular type of tea, he can surprise her with a box of it instead of an expensive gift. This small, thoughtful gesture shows he's paying attention to her and her likes and dislikes without making the gift about how much he spent on it. Now, unless you want a gold digger, avoid high-priced, meaningless gifts. Now, just before I reveal number 10, which is all too common when you meet someone who sets your heart and other parts on fire. If you have found value in this video, please give it a like and consider subscribing. And thank you so much if you already have. Number 10, rushing into future plans. So diving into discussions too early on where the relationship is going can be intense and overwhelming, making her feel pressured or uncomfortable. You may scare her away before she has a chance to feel comfortable with you. Even if she really likes you, she may feel she has to pump the brakes to maintain a healthy speed. Trust me, you never want the woman to be lead foot in the brakes. Example: on their first date, Alex starts talking to Emma about his thoughts on marriage and, thinking it's romantic, asks her what her ideal wedding would look like. Now, Emma isn't sure if Alex means with her, but it makes her hit pause. The intense approach makes her feel uneasy, as if she's being asked to commit to something way more serious before she's had a chance to actually get to know him. Instead of fostering wedded bliss butterflies, say that 3 times, Alex has created a barrier, making Emma want to back off and take things much slower. So these are some of the biggest and most common flirting mistakes to avoid with a woman you care about. Avoid them and you'll be on your way to creating genuine, lasting connections rather than cringe-worthy encounters. And if you tend to be clingy or aloof right from the get-go, you'll find value in my video on attachment styles coming up. It could be the reason you go for the wrong women. And if you want to flirt like a mofo pro, watch the videos in my Flirting 101 playlist. Thanks so much for being here and watching to the end. That really helps my channel, as well as sharing it. I'm sending you so much love and encouragement and courage. I believe in you. God bless.